Hello everyone. In this lecture, I am going to explain line by line the famous sonnet 149 by William Shakespeare. But before I explain it line by line, if you are new to my channel, then please like the video and subscribe the channel. Well, before and start it line by line, let me tell you the background, theme, and main message of this sonnet. Actually, this sonnet is about the speaker's painful love for someone who doesn't seem to care. The speaker admits they blindly adore this person, even changing themselves to please them, but gets nothing in return, not even kindness. The background is likely Shakespeare's series of Dark Lady sonnets, where he explores messy, unequal love. The main theme is the struggle of loving someone who doesn't love you back, showing how heartbreak can make a person weak and desperate. The poem questions why the speaker still loves someone who treats them so badly. Let's start it. Canst thou, O cruel, say I love thee not? This is the beginning line, and the speaker is talking directly to the woman he loves. He is calling her cruel. He is asking her, how can you say that I don't love you? Actually, he feels hurt because after everything he has done for her, she still doubts or denies his love. It shows that he is completely devoted to her even though she is unkind to him. And then says, when I against myself with thee partake. Here, the speaker says that he even goes against himself just to be with her. In simple words, he is saying, I harm my own happiness and my own good just to be part of your life. It shows how much he sacrifices for her, even when it hurts him personally. Simply, it means that he harms himself and tries to be the part of her life. Do I not think on thee when I forgot? He explains that even when he forgets about himself, he still keeps thinking about her. His love for her is so strong that he loses himself. Even when he should be caring for his own needs, all his thoughts are still about her. Simply, it means that his love is so powerful and strong that he forgets himself and always thinks about her. And then says, I am of myself all tyrant for thy sake. Now he calls the woman a tyrant, as you know the meaning of tyrant, which refers to someone who is cruel and controlling. Simply, he says that because of her, he has completely forgotten himself and given up everything for her sake. His love is so deep that he allows her to have total power over him, even when it causes him pain. Who hatteth thee that I do call my friend? This is very outstanding line. Actually, in this line, he asks, is there anyone who hates you that I call my friend? The answer is no. It means he never stays friends with anyone who dislikes her. If someone hates her, he cuts ties with them to show how loyal he is to her. You can say that his love is so strong and pure that even he hates those people who hate her. And he also does not call them as his friend, because they don't go in favor of her. And then says, on whom frownst thou that I do fawn upon? Here, the speaker continues explaining his loyalty. He says, is there anyone you frown at or dislike that I show kindness to? Again, the answer is no. If she doesn't like someone, he also doesn't treat them nicely. He follows her emotions completely. Simply, you can say that he says that he also does not like those whom she dislike or unkind to them. Nay, if thou lourest on me, do I not spend? Now he says that if the woman he loves frowns at him or looks upset, lourest means to frown, he doesn't get mad at her. Instead, he quickly makes himself sad and hurt. He is saying that he blames himself, not her, and feels bad right away. It shows that he loves her so much that even her angry look makes him punish himself and feel upset. Revenge upon myself with present moan. He continues and says that when the woman is upset with him, he doesn't try to get back at her. Instead, he takes revenge on himself by feeling immediate sadness and pain. The phrase present moan means crying or feeling hurt right away. It shows that he doesn't want to hurt her at all. He only hurts himself because of how much he loves her. What merit do I in myself respect? In this line, Hayes asking, what good thing do I see in myself? He means that he doesn't think he has any special quality or anything great about him that would make him too proud to serve the woman he loves. He feels so low and humble that he believes he should not think himself better than doing anything for her. In simple words, he is saying, I am not so important or special that I should feel too proud to love you, even when you treat me badly. This shows how deeply he is devoted to her and how little he values himself when it comes to love. That is so proud thy service to despise. The speaker says that he doesn't see anything so great in himself that would make him feel too proud to serve her. In simple words, He thinks so little of himself that he feels honored to serve her, even when she treats him badly. In other words, you can say that he feels proud that he is serving her. And then he says, "When all my best doth worship thy defect." It means that even the best parts of him, his best qualities, his best efforts, everything good about him, end up admiring and honoring the worst parts of his beloved. Thy defect means her faults or flaws. So he admits that instead of loving her for her goodness, he actually ends up loving her even for her weaknesses and mistakes. In very simple words, he is saying, even the best things about me are busy praising your faults. This shows how blindly and deeply he is in love, valuing her completely, even when she does not deserve it. Commanded by the motion of thine eyes? It means that just the movement of her eyes can control him. Even a simple glance from her is like an order to him. It shows how powerless he feels and how much influence she has over him without even speaking. The word commanded means controlled, and the word motion means movement. And then says, "But love, hate on, for now I know thy mind." Now the speaker gives up trying to win her over. He says, "Go ahead and keep hating me because now I understand what you really feel." He realizes that she doesn't love him back and accepts the painful truth. Simply, he admits the harsh reality that she does not love him in return. "Those that can see thou lovest, and I am blind." In this last line, he says sadly that she loves those who are wise and can see clearly, but he is blind because of his love for her. His love has made him unable to see her faults, and because of this blindness, he knows she cannot love him. I hope you have enjoyed this lecture, but please don't forget like and subscription to my channel. Thank you.